How's it going, YouTube? Broke Boy Tactical here, and I hope that we are all having a great day. So we are going to hone the edge on my Victorinox here. Let me show you why. I've got little slivers all over here. It still cuts, it still bites, but they're having a little bit of hang up towards the tip. So I'm going to show you guys how to hone a knife. And you may be saying, that's not honed. Those weren't push cuts, okay? Those were drag cuts. If I push, it's hanging up a bit. Like I said, this needs to be honed. It doesn't need to be sharpened. And that's what we're talking about today. You probably don't really ever need to sharpen your knives for the average person. I mean, like by sharpening, I mean removing a lot of material with a very coarse stone. We're not even going to use the 200 grit stone, and trust me, I can get a lot more coarse than that. We're just going to go to the 600 grit here real quick, all right? This does not need a lot of work. It doesn't, and your edge probably doesn't either. Even if it is not cutting paper, I would probably only do 10 strokes per side of the bevel, okay? And then work my way down. Here, we're going to do about, we're going to do 5. So, this is how we do this. This is our guide. Luckily for me, this production knife here has a 20-degree edge, so do most of your knives out of the box. Not bad. Find your edge. Apply pressure, but not a lot of pressure. And make sure you do not drag your tip off the stone. Okay? 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, if your edge is still cutting, if it's still biting, it's still sharp. There's no need to, you need to have an even number on each side, okay? You want to get it back to where it was, okay? We're not profiling, okay? Just remember that. We're not profiling, all right? Got a good little bit of bite, all right? So now we are going to work our way to the fine ceramic, the coarse ceramic, all right? Same deal. We're going to create what's now called a micro bevel. This has a 25-degree guide instead of a 20-degree guide. Or excuse me, a 22-degree guide instead of a 20-degree guide. I apologize. 1. Now we're going to alternate on the ceramic, though. Still going to do 10 all together, 5 on each side. Feeling pretty nice. Okay, we're going to go down to the fine. You see how I just dragged my tip off on one of those? Don't do that. You'll dull your tip. I'm not a master. Just try to not do that. Alright, let's go to the strop. Since this only needs a light touch-up, we're only going to do 1 pass on each side. That's really all it needs. Alright, let's get another sliver of paper here. Let's see what kind of damage we did. Oh, that's much better. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that tip. There we go. Absolutely. Much better than we're in a much better position than we were before. Got some wrinkled paper here. Let's see if it's sharp enough to cut this wrinkled paper. They're still catching on that. It's really just the paper, but yeah, this is definitely sharper. I am going to say, though, let's give it 1 more pass. Yeah, we'll give it, we'll give it 2 more passes per side. That's a pretty mucky edge. Much better than it was before, though. Alright. This right here is all the maintenance your knife should ever need. Okay? That's all it should ever need. You don't need to remove a lot of material. Okay? If it's still even cutting. Like, look, I get if it's not passing through paper, it's fun to do that, but that's not even a definitive test in and of itself. That just means that you have a perfect apex, okay? Doesn't even necessarily mean that your knife's actually sharp. I can make a whole video about that. This is sharp. Got a nice little toothy bites. but you still have a nice smooth edge, no burr left over. Absolutely. All right, so that's really the maximum amount of maintenance you should ever have to do to your edge. And that took me, what, like 5 minutes and 13 seconds. And I'm even sitting here talking to you guys. I could have done this in 3 minutes. I know this is a very soft steel. I understand that. But, you know, your typical, you know, your Sandviks, you know, S35VN, anything that isn't super high edge retention oriented, like S110V, S90V, M4, K390, 15V, Maximate, yeah, you're going to be fine. S30V, yeah, S35VN, absolutely. It'd probably take you 3 times as long to do a steel of that high quality. I mean, yeah, you would probably just times the amount of time this took by 3. It'd probably take you 10 or 15 minutes. Not a big deal. And it's a very simple process. You don't need to be intimidated by it. Ceramics are really great. I recommend ceramics. They can be a little time consuming, but you know, even if, like I said, even if your edge, actually in theory, you know, you could if you wanted to. If you have a soft enough steel, if you really don't want to put it to that 600 grit stone, if you don't mind it taking a bit longer, you in theory could do this exact, what we just did, this exact thing right here on a course, form a burr, you know, and then work your way down just like we did to the strop. And you would probably end up with the same results. It would just take a bit longer, all right? You don't need to remove material with a coarse stone. For the most of you, you're never going to need to do that if you properly just keep up with your edge. Just keep up with your edge. This is the Worksharp Field Sharpener. This is the best like 30, 35 bucks you could ever invest into like sharpening your own knives. I have guided KMEs, Worksharp Precision Adjust Pro. They're great. They're great when you want to actually profile an edge to like a perfect 17 degrees or something like that. It's wonderful. But if you just want to get your knife sharp again because you need to cut something, oh my God. Amazing. See you guys next time.